Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Xillia. In the last episode, we went back to Sherrilton, and we did a couple of sub-events there, including retaking Fort Gundala and finding out about Rowan's mistress that doesn't remember him, and, you know, that we solved that mystery. But in today's episode is the big one, the one that I've been kind of dreading doing because this is hard. We are going to be taking on the Devil's Beast in this episode. The Devil's Beast, if you remember me telling you from the very beginning of this Let's Play, whenever we first met that man in Sapstrath Sea Haven, the Devil's Beast are very powerful monsters that have weapons growing in their bodies. They were made by man to be some sort of weapon. And, well, they're in the high 60s when it comes to level. Or not high 60s, but like low 60s, I'm sorry. Now we are plenty powerful enough to take them on. We couldn't take them on for the longest time because, well, we were too low level. But now that we're pretty much at endgame at this point, we can. I'm here at the Xillia Fortress because one Devil's Beast in particular is connected to a sub-event here. And it's kind of funny that it's actually connected to sub-events. There's actually two of them that are connected to sub-events. We won't get into one of them until the next episode. But today's episode, we're going to be taking on this sub-event as well as taking out the rest of them before the other Devil's Beast. But what you need to do here is you need to go back to the military district and get to the roof. I honestly would suggest you save because, well, you're taking on a Devil's Beast. These monsters do not kid around, and they're not really going to... They're going to kill you really fast if you're not careful. But you should be, at this point in the game, around level 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, maybe 65. But if you come up here to the roof, and go through here where you fought Volt, cutscene will activate. Damn it! The most advanced Spyrex weapons ever made, and they can't even scratch that thing! Does this monster have a sword stuck in it? Can you tell me what that thing is? Beats the hell out of me! It just attacked us out of nowhere! We tried to fight it with the new Spyrex weapons designed to repel Muse, but they did nothing! You guys get out of here. We'll hold off as long as we can. And leave a lady to fend for herself? That's madness. Right, because picking a fight with an indestructible monster is the very height of it's the very height of sanity.
Guys, he looks pretty angry. He's totally... Quite the conviction. Using such power in its current state.
No, that is not conviction. It's merely hanging on to the bloodlust of war. We can only help by
I'll help.
And we are taking on our first of the 6 Devil's Beasts. This is Melonbrawn. He's level 61. He uses electricity, as you couldn't tell. He's strong against fire and wind, but he's weak against water. Keep that in mind. This guy sucks. As you see by his P attack, it's like 5,000. It's ridiculous for this level. It's really strong. What I would honestly suggest you do, if you're having so much trouble with this guy, because he'll bury around here and then come over and, you know, just like nibble at you. But that does a lot of damage. But he also does lightning-based attacks. He's very quick. He will destroy you really fast. What I honestly would suggest is using the Aqua Sweep tactic that I told you about to avoid. Only it's absolutely necessary. Not using Aqua Sweep will knock him down to the ground and it will stun him momentarily. But this really sucks because he gains a lot more power when he uses certain moves that enhances electricity power. And as you see, he knocked down Elise in one get-go. It's really owie. Honestly, don't be afraid to use your items when you're fighting these guys. These are all optional bosses, and you don't have to fight these guys. But honestly, I would suggest because you do get a reward for doing it. People I would strongly suggest linking up with if you're playing as Jude, probably Rowan or Alvin. Anybody who can use water-based linked attacks like Splash Beam and the title shot that we do with Alvin. I can't remember the name of it. But pretty much, you just need to stay away from him whenever he starts charging at you. When he starts charging at you, you should kind of just take it as advice and just run away. Because he will use his lightning-based attacks, and they hurt. They do 1,000 damage to you right off the bat. And they do consecutive blasts. So his electricity beam like that will hurt really bad. And Rowan's already down. I was like, wait a second. I was like, you already used item. As well as he inflicts burn. Well, it only makes sense because, you know, getting struck by lightning is nothing more than third degree, really bad third degree burn. So it makes you inflamed, and that's kind of bad too. But have your healers on here because this is kind of a fight that does a lot of damage to you. There's going to be a lot of Devil's Beast fights that are like this. There's some that are just fine, but this one's kind of one of those that's just, you gotta be ready for this one. This one actually really sucks. There's only a couple of them that aren't that bad, but there's also a few of them that are just like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But if you come over here and use a Mystic Art, try to use Mystic Arts. I could always advise that. I know I don't really talk about it when I use them, but when you can, use your Mystic Art. When you go into overdrive, use your link darts until it gets to the very bottom and it's about ready to run out, then use your arcane art to activate Mystic Art. That's how you get most effective out of your overdrive. I don't know if I've ever said that kind of hit. I should have for the longest time. But he is down for the count.
That was way too close.
And as you guys can see, holy crap, it really sucks. Alvin's just like, that was way too close. But the item we got was Melandrata, the Deathbringer. That is a devil's arm.
Yes, all right.
Every devil's beast you beat, you get their weapon.
Never
So
stop
that,
improving.
you got a couple level ups from that fight. I can't believe you beat that thing. An electrifying performance, wouldn't you say? God. Oh yes, I'm positively shocked. What is wrong with you two? All that electricity must have scrambled their brains. Is that really possible? That would make sense. Forgive me. I was just releasing a little tension. I'm really impressed that you're able to defeat such a powerful monster without using Spyrex. Oh, it was nothing. My only fear that we wouldn't stick around long enough to deliver the finishing blow. I was afraid it might bolt. Now I'm the one who's shocked. Perhaps the lightning really has affected Rowan's judgment. I think that hit harder than the monster. All the hard work, and now it's coming off like a bunch of idiots.
That monster just now had a weapon integrated into its body. That must have been one of the artificial monsters that the storyteller told us about. One was bad enough. Are there really 5 more of those things out there?
A monster with a weapon growing out of its body. This must be one of the monsters the old man was talking about. Such dangerous creatures. And there are still 5 more of them running around out there. They pose too grave a threat to ignore.
That kind of showed both the skits for that. After you beat a Devil's Beast, that skit automatically plays. And it's kind of telling you, saying, there's 5 more of these guys. You beat one, there's 5 more of these. But the item that we got was Melandrata the Deathbringer. A weapon once carried by Melbourne, one of the Devil's Beasts, a dark frosty blade with screams out of anguish. Look at it. It's really not that great. My weapon I have right now is stronger than that. There's a reason for that. And we won't find that out until after we've beaten the game. I'm going to tell you right now, hold on to these things though. It may seem kind of useless that we got such a legendary, powerful blade, but it's less powerful than the weapon we have right now. It's like either we're doing something right with the with the stores, or there's more to the catch. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, there's more to the catch. We'll find out later. As of right now, you want to grab them, so that way you're getting ready for the, later on down the line. But our next destination that we need to go is to, if I can find it, is the old Vakal mine. If you guys remember when I was here the first time, we need to go down here in order to find one of the Devil's Beasts. We saw him before. We avoided him. Now, we're going to go ahead and take the fight to him. If you simply come down here and go down this way, you'll see him in the back. He's just roaming back there just nonchalantly. Now, there's a lot of Devil's Beast. Majority of the Devil's Beast are going to be just roaming monsters here. And you just kind of have to avoid them in your first fight. But let's go ahead and fight him.
Hey, look! It's got a stamp on its tail. How dare it have the same weapon as me?
I suggest not underestimating it.
What? Are you saying my skills are weaker than this beast?
Leia, I advise you to redirect that anger towards the enemy instead.
Fine, I'll show you all who's boss.
We are fighting Repartee. Repartee is probably one of the easiest ones to fight. Repartee is level 59, and he's weak against water, and he's strong against fire. Kind of like, Melendrot earlier. So, pretty much just the same strategy applies. Use your water attacks to kind of overpower him. He is kind of he does a lot of, ground-based attacks, and he will, smack you to the ground with that staff that's stuck in his tail. But the thing is, though, he is really easy to kind of just spam and kind of get him away and just, gang up on. Look, we're already almost killed him. He's at like half health already. Like I said before, this guy's kind of like the easiest one, because his moves are kind of predictable. You can kind of tell when he's about ready to attack. He's like Graddock's Claw. He kind of just does a belly flop. But he also, in the middle of the fight, he will spawn these things. It says Philifrete. I do believe you need this for the bestiary. I may be wrong. I don't think you do. Because you don't have to have these things for the bestiaries, but it's just good to point out that it does spawn these things after a while. So, be mindful of it. But Repartee is actually really easy. It's really easy to dodge his attacks. It's really not that hard. If you're really competent, you can actually, when you come here the first time, you can probably fight him and you'll be fine. But I'm just going to tell you, be warned. He's really hit hard if you're not too careful.
I refuse to run away.
Yeah, see, Repartee we took down pretty easy. We didn't even have to use an item on him for that one. But the item he gives us is Padvin the Incanter. It is a staff weapon for Leia. And you can kind of see a trend going on here. Each one of the Devil's Beasts will give you a weapon for each one of the characters. And for every Devil's Beast, I forgot to mention, you will get a title for it. So, you should get like 6 titles altogether by the end of it. But it says Padvin the Incanter, a weapon that is carried by Repartee, one of the Devil's Beasts, a dark evil rod that sings out despair. See, its P attack is a little bit weaker than ours, but its art attack is a lot stronger. Like I said before, these weapons are kind of just like meh right now. They'll get better. Just hold on to these things. But anyways, where our next destination that we need to go for another Devil's Beast is to go to the Zagad Flood Meadows. Flood Meadows. There is another Devil's Beast here, and we did not run into this when we first came here. We didn't have to. This Devil's Beast is actually kind of off in distance by himself. I'm kind of surprised I missed that treasure chest when I first came in here. That had basil in it. But anyways, what you need to do is you need to go and find the secret pathway that'll lead you to an enclosed cliffside. That's where the Devil's Beast in Zagad Flood Meadows lies. So be wary of that. When you first come here, you might accidentally run into it, but you'll notice him right off the bat, because he is different than all the other enemies. That's one thing I need to kind of mention is, if you accidentally run into these things when you're low level and earlier in the game, you can kind of tell they're different. So, honestly, whenever you see an enemy that's different, that's roaming around these fields, that's kind of your indication to stay away from that thing. That thing is a lot more stronger than you. But then again, I think that's kind of what they were going at. But we need to go over to the left here in order to find that enclosed area. You can kind of see it on the map. You can kind of see that enclosed cliffside. So we come over here to the southeast region. And there he is. He's a tiger. And he has a wand on his tail. Let's go ahead and fight him.
That's one big cat! I think it looks kind of cute!
No, this is not the time or place for that kind of thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's having the same thoughts about us as well.
As in, lunch?
Let's focus before it actually eats us.
Oh gosh, I love the little battle skits here. But this is Gatrega. He is level 58 and he is weak to darkness. Now this is kind of your indication, since he has a wand on his tail, you kind of want to use Elise for this one, because she uses dark base attacks. This is another one of those monsters that is kind of easy to beat. This Devil's Beast is kind of really easy. He kind of looks like a house cat too. You know, Elise was right. He is kind of really cute. I linked up with Elise for this fight because you kind of want to use darkness-based attacks on this guy. It's kind of his weakness. But I don't have any darkness-based attack unless Leia. Yeah, see, Leia changed my element to darkness, and then I can use Beast, and then I'll be able to use darkness-based attacks, and then, you know, get the upper hand on him. But the thing is, though, you want to be careful of is he is quick. He will attack you really quick. His claw slices, he will bite you, he will, you know, jump and slam you on the ground. He's really fast. He's a lot faster than the other ones. A lot of the Devil's Beasts are kind of slow, but not all of them are. This is kind of one of those indications that he is kind of slow. But let's go ahead and use Teepo and Rage using Beast. Let's go ahead and use our Mystic Art here. You would think if he has a wand, he would use magic, but he's a cat, so it kind of makes sense. But really, at this point in the game, you should be able to defeat these guys. I always, at late game, in-game, around this time, I usually take him on. He's spamming Beast. I like that move a lot. It's like a gigantic Hadouken with a lion's face on it. But Elise has actually kind of run out of magic power, which is really surprising. I've never actually seen her run out of TB before, so just keep ganging up on it. We should be able to defeat him really easily now. And let's swap out to Mila here. Keep getting him, and he should be down for the count. With Teepo and Rage.
I refuse to run away.
See, he wasn't that bad. There's a couple that are like that, but in order to beat him, and when we beat him, we get Trigatria, the Bellowing Demon. Trigatrio. Yeah, I cannot talk. Good lord. But we earned a title Overlord, as well as the wielder of the Devil's Wand. Overlord, what you need to get that title is you exploit an enemy's weakness a certain number of times. But this weapon here is actually really good for Elise. But I have a weapon here in the next episode that'll be a lot better than this right now. It says, a weapon once carried by Gatria, one of the Devil's Beasts, a black death that gives off a defiant howl. That's kind of eerie. A lot of these Devil's Beast weapons are really eerie sounding in their description. But anyways, one thing I've been not doing, and I shouldn't be doing in this recording, is you probably should heal up after every fight. You should probably go rest it in at every fight that you do. But now, we're going to Salen Woods. And we saw this Devil's Beast before. This Devil's Beast was literally wandering around in the middle of Salen Woods. This is probably the one you accidentally ran into by accident. But if you go into the middle of if you go in the middle of Salen Woods, you'll see a gigantic horse that has a sword stuck in its head. So if you come over here and you fight it.
Is that a sword on its head?
It looks like something you might be able to use.
Only if it's free.
Sure we'll have to beat it first.
I get the same vibe. Who knows? Maybe it's worth something.
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
But we are taking on the Devil's Beast horse, Swice. Swice is probably one of the more stronger ones. This one is level 61. He is strong against the water-based attacks, but he's weak against fire. So your best bet. See what I did there? Best bet is with Alvin. So you kind of want to link up with him because he has a lot of fire-based attacks. And well, I have Phoenix Plunge, which does a lot of damage. So that's pretty much that. Swice is really, he can hurt really bad if you let him. Of course, that's the same with every boss, but if you let him, he will hurt you really bad. So be careful of that when you go ahead and do that. He's kind of quick. He's not as quick as Gatsrega, but he's kind of really strong. So, and he's really quick. There's pretty much not much to it. He has lightning-based attacks. Kind of looks like he's an ice enemy, right? No, he uses lightning-based attacks too. So, just keep spamming your fire-based moves and, you know, having Leia use the elemental swap on you and then using, you know, Beast and Demon's Fist and stuff like that. I'm actually not using Alvin like I'm suggesting, but Mila works just as well because she has a lot of fire too. But let's go ahead and use our Mystic Art. I failed to mention that if you have an elemental, you know, advantage over it, like in your weapon or something like that, it will not activate during your Mystic Art. So like you won't get that power hit bonus or whatever it is. It'll just be normal damage. But yeah, Mila's using, you know, Flare Bomb, which is really strong. But using Phoenix Plunge will actually cause him to kind of just stun for a second, so be careful of that. Or not careful, that's actually use it to your advantage, that's what I meant to say. I don't know why Mila's using Sylve. I would be kind of using Ifrit, because Ifrit does a lot of fire damage, and he's probably the strongest of the 4 Great Spirits. So why she's not using Ifrit, I don't know why. But let's go ahead and just beat the crap out of him. And using Nurse, and having all your healers just use stuff like that. There's not too much to Swice. Swice is just, you know, your common speed horse enemy demon monster that has a sword in his head. Just be careful. You know, he does stomp the ground. That does cause area effect damage. So, just go ahead and just keep attacking. Having Elise and Leia use Nurse is really good.
Like this?
Act cool.
I always like that in skid there.
Into this, Jude.
Oh, this is funny. But we defeated Swice, and for beating him, we get Vicehein the Howler. Vicehein the Howler. It's kind of a German. This is kind of a German-based enemy. Oh, speaking of Germany, a little bit of tidbit information about this game that I know of. Well, we got the wielder of the Devil's Sword. You can kind of tell what that weapon's for. That's for Alvin. If we come over to the equipment and go to Alvin, we get Vicehein the Howler, a weapon that was once held by Swice, one of the Devil's Beasts, a dark sword that cries out in solitude. It's kind of like Alvin in a way. But as you can see, the only thing that's increasing is his art attack. It's not even good enough for his sword. And you would think it would be, because it's got a awesome title, Vincehorn, thus the Howler. But speaking of Germany, there is a different name for Jude in the Germany version of this, and that's because I don't know what the reason is, but the name Jude is kind of outlawed in Germany or something like that. I think they changed his name to something else. I think something to do with Judith is kind of outlawed in Germany, so they had to change his name for the German version of this game. Not too sure what it is. I might put something up on the screen for this. But our final guy here, the final Devil's Beast, is here in Burma Gorge. So we have to climb all the way back at the top. I didn't cut this out because there is an enemy here I kind of want to show off, because when you leave Burma Gorge after Chapter 1, an enemy spawns here, and this would be the only time you'd be able to see it. And, well, there's a good reason why this enemy spawns after Chapter 1, but we need to find him, and he's kind of, you know, part of a breed that we've seen before, and it's just based on its typing, because this is kind of, well, it's a gorge. It's got wind-based attacks and everything, wind-based enemies and everything. But yeah, a little bit of backstory here. When I was thinking about Germany with the German names of Schweiss and Vincehorn, yeah, Jude was kind of outlawed in Germany for some reason. I think it was in Germany. I can't remember the exact country. I think it was Germany, though. But anyways, I'm kind of looking at my titles right now to kind of see where we're at right now. We have a few more for the Black Buzzard, but let's go ahead and continue onwards to find this last Devil's Beast that we need to fight. We have fought 1, 2, 3, 4. We have fought 4, and we're going on to our 5th one right now. So we have 2 more that we need to beat. This one and the next one. But the next one is kind of a special one. It's tied to another sub-event, like the first one was. That one, and this is the enemy right here. This is a Gentle Sylph. This is part of the Gentleman line of enemies. You can kind of see why you can't fight this your first trip here. Because these guys are level 60 and they do a lot of damage. They don't want to put these kind of enemies here whenever you're first fighting things. But anyways, the last Devil's Beast is in the optional dungeon that we saw in the previous episodes ago. The one that we took a look at and then we walked right out because I just wanted to point it out. It was there. It was called the Tantalum Abyss. It was in Olympias on Resal High Road. We're going to be going that in the next episode. And I'm going to tell you right now, that dungeon is rather long. That is actually one of the longest optional dungeons in this game. It's really lengthy and it has a lot of enemies and there's a lot of platforms you have to climb and everything. But the last Devil's Beast is at the very bottom of that abyss. So that's why we're going to be saving him for his own episode, because we're going to be exploring that in the next episode. I just want to go ahead and get these guys out of the way because, well, we can fight them and we're not having too much trouble. I think the only trouble we had was the very first one. That's completely understandable because that enemy was really strong. I don't know why they made him really super strong, but the other ones is just like, meh. They're okay. You can beat them just fine. You know, these are supposed to be very, very powerful and dangerous, indestructible beasts. But I beat them just fine. But then again, we did beat Maxwell. Maxwell did, you know, create the world and everything. We did beat the god of this world, so, I guess that. And not only that, in the last episode, we just defeated the indestructible golems. Like, of course, they were on a hindrance, but you can kind of guess what I'm talking about. We're plenty strong enough to fight these things. They keep saying that we were doing that. But anyways, here's the final Devil's Beast. You can accidentally run into this thing when you come back. But he will be here, and he's a giant harpy. Actually, it's a she. But let's go ahead and fight this thing.
No, we have to stop it. Wait, don't take it head on. We can't let it get away. All right, if you say so.
We can't back down now. Better to charge in, focus, and end the battle quickly.
I'm not getting paid enough for this.
And we're taking on our next to last Devil's Beast. This is Folzam, the Harpy, level 58. This is by far the weakest one, but I wouldn't say it's the easiest one. She's weak to earth and strong against wind. Now this boss sucks for one reason only. It's a harpy. Most of your attacks are going to miss. Not only that, she has a move that will confuse you. This kind of sucks because confusion kind of acts like Berserk. Kind of acts like Berserk in Final Fantasy. No, it acts like confusion in Final Fantasy, but it causes you to attack whatever's closest. So it really sucks trying to fight this thing, and it's going to confuse you. And then you go on and attack your healer. And then you go and attack all your party members, and you're like, oh crap, why am I attacking him? Oh, I'm confused, crap! You know, it's just like really hard. Using Igneous Rush really helps in this kind of scenario right here. Let's go ahead and just keep using Mystic Arts. You want to just stay away from it when it uses this like crazy voice attack, which you can kind of tell, but it's going to use that whenever it, you know, it does that noise. When it does that, it's using that attack to confuse you. See, look, everybody is confused, and I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god, I can't do this. I thought I was going to lose here, because Jude's starting to attack Leia. I was like, crap, 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 crap. And then I had to use a Panacea bottle to kind of get him to stop. But, you know, it really sucks having to be affected by confusion like this. That is like the worst feeling, is getting confused and they're going straight for your guy. And you can kind of tell they're coming. You're just like, holy crap, I gotta do something. So you have to stop and use, you know, a Panacea bottle or something like that to kind of heal them. But another thing that's annoying with Volzam here, she teleports. And whenever you're trying to attack, that kind of really sucks. And I'm going straight for Elise. And I was like, oh god. This is kind of one of those situations where if you have a lot of Panacea bottles, it'll help. And you don't want Jude attacking Elise, because Elise is fragile. And you don't want him attacking Rowan if you're using Rowan too. But using Earth-based attacks really do quicken this fight. The thing is though, it just sucks whenever you get confused. It's one of the worst status elements in this game, next to Petrification. Now, I was lucky enough I wasn't attacking Leia. I was actually attacking that harpy that was right there. But yeah, this boss will spawn harpies too if you don't take long enough. If you take long enough, they'll start spawning harpies, but these are like really low-level monsters. And it was kind of funny because Mila was confused. She attacked Jude, who was also confused. Also, another thing I need to remind you, in boss fights that have status conditions like this, don't do what I do and link up. Link up whenever you get inflicted with status effect, whenever you're linked up. That also passes on to your link partner. So every time I get confused, Mila gets confused. See, look what happens. Linking up is kind of one of those last-ditch efforts you should be doing, and not doing what I'm doing right now. But really kind of sucks. But having Elise's use Dispel, it really helps in a lot of sense of the word. But you can kind of see why this boss fight sucks. It's the weakest boss fight in the game, or weakest boss fight in the Devil's Beast set of enemies. But it sucks because it's a harpy. Plain and simple. But let's just keep wailing on it. It's almost dead. It's got a lot of wind-based attacks, and there we go. Now I have to kill this last remaining harpy. It's like, beat it up!
So strong when we work together. Yeah, everyone's so cool.
Ugh, that was a chore. But when we do get Volzez, the Grunge Bearer. That sounds really awesome, and that's a fist, so that goes straight to Jude. So the only weapon that we're missing is Mila's. And we have the wielder of the Devil's Claws.
Guys, Rowan's not looking so good. Shouldn't we stop and get him healed up?
I never really showed it off. Actually, I did. During the Noctigal fight, Alvin did say something after the fight. Whenever you have a character that's low HP, one of your party members will talk and say, hey, we need to heal. We need to heal so-and-so. They're not looking so hot. Or if somebody dies over and over again. But this is Volzez, the Grudge Bearer. Weapons used by Volzam, one of the Devil's Beasts. 6 black claws which hold a grudge on all life. As you guys can see, it is weaker than the weapon I have. Like I keep mentioning, this is just temporary for right now. But hold on to these weapons. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go back into Triglyph. Because the last Devil's Beast, like I said before, is in that Tantalon Abyss optional dungeon. And that's where we're going to be going next. But I just wanted to kind of make a stop here. And we're going to go ahead and distribute our levels real quick, because we gained a couple. Well, I gained a grand total of 1. I don't know about all the other ones. Alvin gained 1, Leia gained 1. Everybody just kind of gained 1 from all these optional bosses, and you would think it's just like, oh my gosh, you beat all the Devil's Beast, you must have had a lot of levels out of it. No, not really. But we're going to go ahead and equip our abilities to kind of, you know, just prepare for the last one. The last one's actually kind of hard if you're not too careful. So that's kind of why I'm kind of getting prepared for this one. So, but that's pretty much it. We have defeated 5 of the Devil's Beasts right now. And we're going to be going on to their 6th one. In the next episode of Let's Play Tales of Xillia, we're going into the Tantalon Abyss to fight the last of the Devil's Beast and get the last of the Devil's Arms. So with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care, everybody.